Oh boy. What's happening? What's happening? Figured I'd sit outside and do this today since it's a nice rainy day, nice here in sunny South Florida. But anyway, last week, man, I didn't do too well last week. I didn't fare too well last week. I had seven right, and before I get into week three, I figured I'd just go over some of the games that I thought I kind of like should have had to. Now I'm picking the line. I'm picking with the lines, with the spread, whatever the spread is. I'm picking with those. So it's a little harder than you figure who's going to win the game. You don't have an idea who's going to win the game, but it's easier to pick like that. So if you're into betting and you betting on the games, then sometimes you choose the money line instead of actually betting with the spread. But it's all in fun. So that's what I'm doing, all in fun. So anyway, some of the games that I thought that I had that should have gotten right. One was a Miami game. Now, I think Miami should have beat New England at home. Like Tua has pretty much beaten New England. So that was one of the games that I thought I should have had. Um, Cleveland by 12. Man, who would have thought? Who would have thought? Even though Joe Flacco, he's okay. He's not, he's not Joe Flacco of old, but he still is Joe Flacco. And I thought he would have kept this with the defense, and then it being a rivalry game, a home game. They should have kept the game kind of close, but they didn't. So I lost that one too. So that was one. And then what the Titans around? And the Bears, the Bears, the Bears and the Steelers. Both of those games I figured I should have won, and I didn't. So anyway, let's mosey on over to week three. Now week three, we're gonna try this again. Different week. So I had, like I said, I had seven right last week, and the week before that I had nine. So far for the season, I'm not doing too well. Okay. Hi, I'm not doing too well. So let's see if we can do a little better this week. So my first pick for the day is Miami's going to Buffalo tonight. It's a nice game. Hi, how you doing? Yeah, tonight Buffalo and Miami play. They have Buffalo favored by 11 and a half. So if you pick with Miami a couple of times for the past 2 weeks and I lost. So now I got going to Buffalo, and I know Buffalo pretty much on them. And 11 points is kind of high, but I'm still gonna give it the points and go Buffalo. So that's my first pick. My first pick of the day for tonight's game is Buffalo. I got Buffalo minus 11 and a half. So then we go on. We got the Colts and the Titans. Now, this is a rivalry game. It's a rivalry game, kind of, sort of. So I'm gonna take. Even though they've been losing, they haven't been doing very well, but it's the Colts, and like I say, it's a kind of like a rivalry game, the Titans and the Colts. So I'm gonna go with the Titans plus the 4.5. I'm gonna take the 4 points and go with the Titans. So that's my second pick. And then it got ATL and the Panthers. The Panthers, I don't know what the Panthers is gonna do, but I'm gonna go with Atlanta. I gotta go with it. The way Atlanta played with that defense. They looked good the other night against Minnesota. But Minnesota, I don't know. They had a couple opportunities to win that game. I watched the game. They had a couple opportunities to win that game, but they just, for some reason, just dropped the ball. But I figured they'll bounce back this week. But I get to that pick later. But either way, with that defense Atlanta has, I like them to get the 5 points against the Panthers. Then you got the Raiders in Washington, and that game is 3.5. They got Washington favored by 3.5. I figure I'd go with Washington. I figure them being who they are, and with the offense they have, the quarterback they have, I figure they'll win by 3.5 points. Then you got Tampa Bay and the Browns. I figure Tampa has an alright defense, a pretty good defense, but the Browns haven't really shown me anything, man. They haven't really done anything, and it's probably the week they do show up and do something. But either way, hold on a second. What's going on with this? What did I say? I'm trying to see what the message is. Anyway, Okay, whatever that is. But yeah, so Tampa Bay and the Browns minus Tampa Bay -7. I'll have to go with Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay minus a 7.5 against the Browns. You know, the Browns are the Browns. They've been showing us that lately. And then you got the Bengals and the quarterback for the Bengals got hurt. The quarterback for the Bengals hello, how you doing? Quarterback for the Bengals got hurt. So they got a backup quarterback. And they say he's pretty familiar with the system. But I'm thinking that, you know, the game they had the other night, they had a messed up game the other night. So the Vikings did. I figured they're going to right some of their wrongs. They're going to right some of their wrongs. You know, the quarterback is a young quarterback. It's this first year starting, but McCarthy. But I figure that with the defense they have, and the starting quarterback's not playing for the Bengals, so you got to give it the 3. I give it the 3 with the Vikings. Take the Vikings, give it the 3, and see what happens with them. Then you got the Rams and the Eagles. The Rams and the Eagles. That's gonna be a pretty good game. That's gonna be a pretty good game. The Eagles Super Bowl champs at home against the Rams, giving the Rams 3 points. So I figure the Rams can score. I figure anybody can score the Eagles pretty much. Even Kansas City the other night, with Kansas City missing a lot of their key weapons on offense, and they could have beat the Eagles the other night, whenever they played. Was it night game or a night game, right? Yeah. Anyway, Kansas City could have beat the Eagles. So I'm thinking that with the offense that the Rams have against the Eagles, I'm gonna take the Rams, and I want them to lose anyway. You see the jersey. I want them to lose anyway, so I'm gonna take the Rams plus the 3 points and go with the Rams. Hope you don't let me down. Then you got Pittsburgh and the New England Patriots. Aaron Rodgers is always Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers will always be Aaron Rodgers to me. And so, you know, even though they lost last week, I had them last week too. Even though they lost last week, I think Aaron Rodgers is gonna bounce back. They have him favored by 1. I think he'll bounce back and get his team to a victory. So I'm gonna take the Steelers. I'm gonna take the Steelers plus the 1. Give it the 1 point and see what they do in that game against the Pats. Then we got the Jets, the Jets, and who they got? Yeah. Who did Jets play? I messed that up. I'm gonna skip that one. Either way, whoever they play, I got them plus minus a 7 against the Jets. I forgot who they played though, but either way I wrote it down. But I got two names for the same person. But anyway, the Texans and the Titans. The Titans. I got the. I don't know, man. The Texans got a good squad. They have a good squad, but got a good defense. It's a hard pick, you know, because hometown favorite, Florida favorite with our Hunter, you know. But at home, I have to go. I'm gonna go with the Jags. Go to the Jags, give it a point. You know, it's kind of like a pick'em game. You know, they really haven't, you know, have a clear favorite, but it can go either way. It can go either way. But I'm gonna go with the Jags though, being that Hunter is a hometown favorite. He's from Florida. Well, Simon's from Florida, and I think I'll go with the Jags. Take the Jags in this one and see what they do. Minus the 1 point. And then we got Denver and the Chargers. Now, the Chargers looking good, man. Chargers might be the team to come out of the AFC with the defense and the offense. Everybody stays healthy on that squad, that Chargers squad. Everybody stays healthy. You might be looking at the but Mahomes, never go against Mahomes, but Mahomes when he get his key pieces back, we'll see how he does with the offense. But you never can count him out. But with that, I don't give you know, Lamar. They look good, but Lamar and some games they own, some games they're off, and then in the playoffs they really haven't like shown up. But the Chargers, they really have a good stick on defense. They really have a good defense. So either way, I'm saying Denver versus Chargers. I'm gonna take the Chargers in that game at home. Give it 2 points to beat up on the Denver Broncos. And then we got Seattle and the Saints. You know, the Saints are the Saints. So they got the Seahawks minus 7.5. So I take the 7.5. And then we got our favorite game, our game of the day on Sunday afternoon. We got the Cowboys and the Bears. And the Bears, and and you already know who I got on that game. I got the Cowboys going into Soldier Field, and I'm knocking them off. Beating them pretty bad. So I got Dallas in that game, in the Pick'em game against the Bears. So then we got Arizona. Got Arizona and the 49ers. I like the 49ers in that game. Arizona, that's pretty much that's a rivalry game too, kind of, sort of. And so, it's 2.5 points. But like I said, it's all in fun. But either way, I'll take the 49ers and give it 2.5, and that'd be my pick for that game. And then we got who we got? The Giants and the Chiefs. Now the Giants, they look pretty. The defense look pretty good, man. And so they trying to get themselves together. They're starting to get a little movement and see how they starting to play with the defense and everything. So I don't think, even though the Chiefs may win, like I said, he's missing a lot of pieces on offense. I don't think it's gonna be a cakewalk when they go to New York to play the Giants. So, and they give them 6 points. So I'm gonna go with our rivalry in our division. I'm gonna go with the Giants with the 6 points. Take the 6 points with the Giants and see what they do against the Chiefs. Because Chiefs, like, even if they win it, they ain't gonna beat them that bad. And I could be wrong. They can go in there and blow them out, but it remains to be seen. So either way, give me the 6 points with the Giants, and I take the Giants. And then you got the Ravens. I just talked about the Ravens. You got the Ravens and the Lions. Like I said, they beat up on Cleveland. They beat up on the Browns, but the Detroit Lions, a whole different animal. I think they got their little swag up. They started to get their swag back, and so 4.5 is a lot of points in my opinion to give them, even with the offense they have and defense they have. So give me the points. Give me the points with the Lions, and let's see what they do. Now that's all. That's it. That's all. So we'll see. I'll see you back next Thursday. Remind you how I did. I didn't do that well last week. I had 7 right last week. Week before that I had 9. So slow and steady. Third week of the season. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, it's all in fun purposes. This is something I decided to do beginning of the year. Like I used to watch the sports guy, and I went to see his channel. He's starting to charge people to watch his videos, but I always want to see how I fared against those guys that actually watch the game and do this for a living. I just want to see how I fare against them when I pick my own picks instead of just watching somebody make their picks. I pick my own picks too. It's all it is an opinion. You never know. Nobody knows who's going to win. If they did, people who do that be rich if they wouldn't be doing this. They do it for a couple of while. They do it year after year after year. They do it for 1 year, and you get what I'm saying. Do it for 1 year, and then they'll be done. But either way, it's all in fun. If you think you can do better, then post your picks down below, and we can see who does what. But anyway, be safe, be blessed. Like I always say, closing out of my videos. Tell somebody love, because you never know when you're going to go. You never know when they're going to go. Kiss the ones you love. You never know when you can kiss them again. Y'all be safe. Y'all be blessed. And I'll be seeing you next week with my, show you see how we did. And I'll be talking to you. I'm out. Peace.